We're here. Hey, everybody. This is Lynn Serrano, and welcome to my show, Live, Love, Laugh, and Let Go Out Loud. Today is a very, very special show to me, and most of them are, but they're always their different special reasons. And today, I haven't seen this girl in person, and she probably barely remembers, but we were in New York City like 3.5 years ago. And we have some of the similar tribe people that we hang out with. And I just love her. Her smile is just going to, it's infectious. We're going to get into some deep topics here, but I'm going to show you a little video and then we'll be right back. Hey, welcome everybody. I want to thank you for being here today. It's going to be a very fun and emotional day for both of us here, and we are going to unravel it. But we want to bring some love and laughter first. And so I'm going to let her introduce herself really quick, and then we've got a show for you that you won't want to miss. You're going to want to share this one out as well. So Jen, take it away.
Aloha. So I am Jen Boyd. I am coming to you from the big island of Hawaii. I live in a little town called Honoka'a, and I came here about 4 years from Colorado. And yes, Lynn, I do remember meeting you. It was in New York at one of our events for a business that we were in together. And it was my first time actually ever going to an event. So it was very memorable for me. It was a great time. So a little bit about me. I am a practicing respiratory therapist. I've been doing that for about almost 30 years. In my other business, I am a educator and marketer for an online wellness company. And I've just recently jumped on board the cryptocurrency train. So I'm doing that craziness now, but I'm super, super excited about that. So a little bit about me.
Awesome. Well, you guys are going to want to stay tuned. You're going to want to share this because I'm gonna bring this out right now and really quick, and then we're gonna go on a little journey here. But and I want to say this vocally anyways. I wish I had the words to empathize what you went through losing your child. And we're going to talk about the loss of your child. And it's going to get deep here, you guys, and you're going to want to share this. But we're going to go on a journey with her, and you're going to get to know Jen, and we're going to talk pretty deep here. But I want you to know that your child passed away when? I think a month ago?
November 2nd, 2020.
Yeah. So it's my heart goes out for you on there. And this is going to be it's going to be a tough show, but a good show. We're going to pull through this because we're both going to be pretty vulnerable here. And the message needs to get out that you'll see, you guys. Hang in there. All right. So let's just start with what meaning does living your best life have for you personally?
Well, for me, as you know, Lynn, for me, everything is about gratitude, and living my best life starts with that. So everything that I do, it's grounded in gratitude. So from, waking up in the morning and being grateful for that and everything in between. So that's living my best life, like, and going out there, doing things, even if I'm afraid to do them, because I know that I have dreams and goals and aspirations that I want to accomplish, and how fear gets in your way, but you just got to do it afraid.
Then I've got to tell you the fact that when I've had loss, and matter of fact, in New York, I had this month will be 5 years ago, I lost my mother, and then I lost my brother the following year. And it seems like when we go through any loss in our life, we make things stop. I mean, like, we stop living. And I'm grateful to say that you're an epitome of losing a child and going on, and you've been such a soldier since beginning. And I just didn't think I could have you on my show for a while, because this is just, I lost a baby 8 months long, and I lost it, woke up, didn't have a baby anymore. I never got to know that child. You got to know your child. I mean, like Glenn Morshower says it best. You never know. There's nothing you can say to somebody, because you weren't in their shoes. So I don't profess to be in your shoes whatsoever, but I thank you for being vulnerable, being here, telling your story, and still loving and having gratitude through all this. So you're just an example of love and light. And I'm thankful to call you a friend. I just
Thank
seriously
you.
am. So
Thank you, Lynn.
you're welcome. So what do you love in your life other than your family?
Well, sometimes I don't even love my family. No,
And being honest,
right?
yeah,
No,
we
I
got
always love them. Sometimes I don't like them.
right.
Let's be clear. I
You
always love them.
you love
But
them. You just don't love what they do. You just
right,
don't love.
jokes aside, yeah,
Mhm.
all jokes aside, I always love them. Sometimes I don't like them.
Right.
But what else do I love in my life? Besides my family, I love serving others. I love my path that I've chosen for my career. Just getting to talk to people. I really feel like my job is to make friends. Like I'm a professional friend maker. That's kind of what I do. And so I get to make friends and impact others. I'm pursuing public speaking. So I may invite you on my show one day, Lynn. So yeah, a little surprise there. I'm partnering with a friend of mine, and we will have our first show, I think, January 31st. So
Oh,
yay.
I want
Yeah,
notice for that one. That's
yeah,
exciting.
yeah, yeah. I'll give you the deets one of these days.
That's right. No, that's exciting. And I want to thank you for being a healthcare worker. I know that's also been very difficult for you to be in that realm. I know it is for my daughter. And, so again, thank you for being on the front lines there. This is an amazing chick. You're going to want to follow her. She's going places, doing things. As tragically as things are going on in life, she still shows up, and I can't thank her enough. Hi, Sandra. Thanks for being here. This is going to get deep, you guys. And before it gets really deep, and we talk about a loss of her child, and the fact, yeah, she's got toilet paper tissues because she's going to try not to cry here. But before I make her cry, I'm going to have to make her laugh. So I'm going to ask her first, what makes you laugh?
Oh gosh, all kinds of things. I find myself hilarious. So, but like my husband and our crazy, corny conversations first thing in the morning, that makes me laugh. Like just random things make me laugh. So, I actually did stand-up comedy for, gosh, a number of years. I was fortunate enough to have somebody say, "Oh, you're really funny. You should do stand-up comedy." And I actually fell for it and, and pursued it. So
You
I
know,
did that for a while.
the universe has a funny way of doing this stuff, but you know, I'm connected, and I'm going to have special guests on my show. You have to say any word of that, I'm going to have to kill you, but you do know I have things in the works.
Oh yeah, I know. I know secrets, but I can keep secrets though,
Thank you.
I know
And so,
what happens to people who don't keep secrets. They end up like in the bottom of a dirty river or something with like cement boots.
yeah, yeah, that happens, but that ain't funny. But anyway, so yeah, I'm going to start a show with a guy, Bubba Bradley, and you'll have to come on there because I need to have female comedians over that way too. But you know, I'm my show is about trying to bring laughter and love and vulnerability, and we're building up to that vulnerability here soon. And so I'm just thankful that the universe has a way of putting people together. That thank you for sharing. Um, Steve, thanks for watching. This is going to be very, very powerful story that we're going to unfold here. I don't think anybody's going to see what's coming. But before I do that, let's have a little humor before we get into some deep doo-doo.
So have you ever gotten yourself in a pickle? What kind of pickle would you say you got yourself into? That you learned the most valuable lesson ever.
So
I'm going to make you laugh, cry first.
Right? Okay. So the pickle that I got myself into in my previous marriage, there was a time that my husband at the time was out shooting pigeons with a pellet gun. We had a little pigeon problem, and he was out shooting them with a pellet gun. And I was like, does that really hurt them, or does it just like startle them so that they like just don't want to come back? And he was like, oh, it just, it doesn't really hurt that much. And I was like, really? So I had this bright idea that I would have him shoot me in the butt to see if it really hurt. So I commenced to go across the yard, and he shot me with a pellet gun. It hurt a lot.
Was it close range or short range?
Well, I don't know. I'm guessing it was a normal suburban backyard. So, I went across and to the other fence, and he went to the other fence, and he shot me. So the lesson learned is like, you really never know where your relationship stands until you ask your spouse to shoot you, and they actually do. That's when I should have known it was all over. Who does that? Who would shoot you? Who would shoot you?
You asked for it. You got it.
But I know, be careful what you ask for. That is the lesson.
Oh my gosh, that's another question for later that I'm going to ask you that, and you can't use this answer for that answer. But man, old day, I can't even believe you said
that. Stupid.
Yeah. Okay. That was funny. So now, you guys, this is where I feel like you guys need to share this out. Jen and I are going to go a little deep on this conversation. We only had minutes before the show to discuss this, but she lost a child in November. And when I ask her, what things have you let go out loud? That question to me, I'm asking somebody to be vulnerable with me. And she's going to give you her perception of a situation. And, she has the right to share her perception, and you won't want to miss this. So I'm going to give you the floor a little bit, Jen. We can go till like half the hour, or not too long, and I'll help you along. So go for it.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Yeah. So November 2nd, 2020. It was a Monday. And I had done my Facebook Live for the day. I do Facebook Lives on Mondays and Saturdays at 7 Hawaii Standard Time, 7 a.m. And so I had already done that for the day, and it was a great day, and it was wonderful. And all of a sudden, I get a message from, in Facebook, how you get those filtered messages.
Blocked messages.
Yeah, but it was like, hey, this is Brody's best friend. What's your phone number? I have news. And in that moment, I just knew something horrible had happened. It was just bad from that second. And so I gave my phone number, and then waited, because of course I gave my phone number. I'm waiting for my phone to ring, like right now, like yesterday. Like I gave my phone number already. Like as soon as you got those digits, like my phone should be ringing, so you can tell me what the hell is happening. And I think it was probably about 15 minutes And it was quite literally the longest 15 minutes of my life. And I'm saying to my husband, I said, she's dead. Like, I just know it. That's what they're going to tell me. I'm like, nobody sends you a message like that, you know? So the phone rings, and it is, it's a detective. And then, you know, at that moment, I just lose it. I just lose it because I know, you know, you don't get a detective on the phone. They're not there to tell you, you know, hey, your kid's getting a promotion. You know, they're there to tell you bad news, the worst news. So from there, you know, I get the news, and it's nothing, you know, there's no foul play. It doesn't look like foul play or anything suspicious or anything. Just this 31-year-old, you know, healthy, everything was fine kid that's not with us anymore. And so, yeah, that was the beginning of this journey. And it's hard because when you have adult children, you know, you don't always have the best relationship. You're not always connected. Maybe you haven't spoken to them in a little while, or the last time you spoke to them was through a text message, and it wasn't a face-to-face or a video or a voice or anything like that. And so it's hard, you know, that part's hard, because I felt disconnected, in a way, like, wow, I haven't even seen my child in how long? Held them, hugged them, kissed them, you know, told them you're amazing. So that part's difficult. And, you know, the outpouring, I have to say that the outpouring of love that I received from all of my friends was remarkable. And I realized that people are at a loss, like what to say, and they feel like what they do say is so meaninless, you know, to the person. But just know this, I can only speak for myself, but know this is that your words aren't meaninless. The prayers that you say you want to, you know, send to me, the hugs that you're sending me, the light and the love and all of those things, they're not meaninless. They're powerful. And I feel your love. And so don't ever feel like what you're offering to someone doesn't help them, because I know in my case, it absolutely did. It absolutely did.
Well, I'll tell you what, Sandra here, she says she can relate because she lost her daughter not too long ago as well. And so
I'm so sorry, Sandra.
Yeah. And you know, for me, death, when I hear I'm so sorry, for me personally, it's like, sorry, don't cut it. And I wish I had the words to help in the situation, and I don't. So it's just it's a difficult thing, but are you ready to take this a little bit further of how the process, this is going to get deep, you guys, but the process of, it's one thing to lose your child, but it's the other thing that we can't change what's happened. We can't, you know, when our kids get older, my daughter's 31 too, and she struggles and stuff. And it's a difficult thing when to let your child live their life. And maybe me saying that you can explain why it is difficult for you and how you feel about that.
Yeah, absolutely. It is difficult to let your children live their lives. So if you have seen anything about, you know, me and my kid or the wishes, it's like, I'm so sorry you lost your son. And And the thing is that that isn't what I lost. I lost my daughter.
It's okay, honey. You say your truth and how.
So I lost my daughter twice. So, dang it, Lynn.
I know, honey. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, but I know you have a message that you want to get
So,
out. So if I can interject and help you with this a little bit, if you don't
yes,
mind.
please. Yes.
The thing is that Jen brought into this world a daughter who just chose to have her life and to transition to being considered a boy, a son. So she went from having a daughter to a son, and the struggles of, it's like this isn't the analogy, the right analogy, but I'm just saying it from my perspective or whatever. And I hope I do this justice. It's just like, I was born Eileen, but then I went to the name Lynn. And even when I went through a lie detector test, and they asked you, is your name Eileen? It's like I lied on my test because I was going by Lynn as far as my name change. And I mean, not to compare this situation, but what I'm saying is, the fact that you go and have the one identity and then the other identity. I'm sure what triggers for you is that when people come out and say, I'm sorry for your son, because that's how they knew him at the time. That was his identification.
Right.
Unfortunately, that does not resonate with you because truly you had a daughter. And because you had a daughter, you feel like your daughter's not being acknowledged, is how I'm feeling for you. And so you really want to say your truth to you. I carried a daughter, and I lost my daughter, and I lost her twice, which is insult to injury. And it's a trigger because you're trying to respect her wishes to be identified as a son. But you're also, so this is like a double whammy here, you guys. And I think it's important for people to know that what Jen feels is different than what you may think. It doesn't mean that she didn't love her child, by no freaking means. It means that this is a hard ass thing to go through twice, because when somebody says, I'm sorry for your loss of your son, that's why I chose to say she lost her child. And it's her child she lost. And I hope I'm doing justice by explaining that for you.
Yeah, and that's absolutely how I say it, is I lost my child. And I do my really, really best to avoid the pronouns just because I want to be respectful to Brody, who was born Bavalania, by the way.
Bavalania, that's a beautiful.
Bavalania, yeah, it's a mouthful too.
I was
And
gonna say,
so
Mom, you made it hard for her to say that.
I know, but she went by Lonnie. She went by Lonnie, Lani. So,
Oh.
so but I knew her as Lonnie, and some years ago, Lonnie decided to transition and become Brody, and that was tough for me. That was really tough for me. I was like, okay with the whole gay thing, and you do you, and if you want to dress like whatever, tomboyish or whatever, okay, that's fine, but you're still my daughter. And so when that happened, that was definitely challenging, to live that, to not say her and she and all of those things. I could look at Brody and see, well, this is certainly not someone who looks like a woman anymore. So that was easier.
But you definitely didn't love her any less for her
Oh,
decision.
of course not. I
Of course
just
not.
crazy
So
about this person. You know what I mean?
And that's what I'm trying to make sure that you guys don't misunderstand, is she has love. She respected her wishes and things like that. It's just internalizing as a parent and having a child choose one way and you choose another. And yet, think of all, I mean, she gave birth to this child. She raised this child. And so it's a double death of three deaths. I mean, it's very, very difficult. And for you to still have gratitude and still try to honor her, his, you know, being correct,
Their
whatever,
wishes. Yeah.
their
Brody's wishes.
wishes.
Yeah.
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 It
Yeah.
truly, I commend you for sharing this, because people need to see a love of a mom is infinite, and it has no bearing on any of that. But I am grateful that you can let this go out loud and let people understand your perspective of it, because I don't judge you whatsoever. I empathize with you and can definitely see that, you've been in a situation. And I'm also thankful that you're not just sweeping this under the rug, and you're not trying to say, okay, I'm not going to talk about this, I don't want to talk about this. You're just showing people that, how you feel.
Well, the thing is that when you lose somebody, you still have to show up. You still have to show up. And I know for me, and like I said, I can only speak for me. I can't speak to anyone else's grief, because their grief is their grief. But
That's right.
I know for me, I will never be the person that is, in a ball, in the fetal position, on my bed, just crying for days on end, in a corner, not moving forward. That's just not who I am. And I know that I would be doing a disservice to Brody and everything Brody represented in this life. Like, Brody was the kind of person that had 100 best friends. Who does that? And it wasn't because Brody was like, oh, this is my best friend. It's them saying Brody is their best friend. And I don't even know how that's possible, to be someone's best friend to that many people. But Brody was.
I saw the funeral.
And so I couldn't do a disservice to Brody's memory by stopping dead in my tracks and just like not living. I couldn't do that. I wouldn't do that. And the thing is see, I encourage people, like, I want you to, okay, grieve how you grieve, but don't stay there. You can't live in grief.
Yeah.
They're incompatible. Like,
Yeah.
living and grieving, like, you can't live in grief. You have to live in joy. You can't live in grief. You can grieve, but you can't live there. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. I know that I took the grieving part, I think even from the Bible when I was little, and I was said, wait, what? We perish here? We're gone, and I lost my grandmother at 7 years old. And that was traumatic to me, because I was like, this is how the story ends for everybody. This, I mean, it truly, like, getting to the end of the book was not something I wanted to know at 7 years old. And,
Right.
this is a part of life. So I had to learn to realize, to cherish people while I have them in my life, because we're only here for a minute. And that's why I started the show, because I want to cherish people I love and respect and care about, on film, so that when one of us is gone, we can remember this time, we can have this time and make an impact to others. So I can't thank you enough for just being vulnerable, being here, being the beautiful sunshine that you are. And I mean, I love you, and I love energy, and love how you can resonate with somebody. You don't need to talk to them every day to know how much you love them. And I love your hubby too. I love
Oh,
Lucas.
thank you.
He's just such a breath of fresh air. And so
He's pretty amazing.
yeah, you guys are amazing together. And I pray to God one of these days I can actually be in Hawaii and spend time with you guys. That's on my bucket
You
list.
will, girl. You just put that out there. You just keep putting it out there to the universe.
Yes,
That
know.
works.
It's been delayed. I would have held you longer in New York if I would have known it'd take this long to get together. It's crazy. So let's move on to, what's your big, hairy, audacious goals in life?
Oh, wow. Well, first and foremost, I want to impact hundreds of thousands of people. That's my big, hairy, audacious goal. And maybe millions of people. I don't know
You will.
that.
You are.
Yeah. So that's my big goal. And, I'm not quite sure the how yet, but I do know that I'm just gonna keep being authentic and getting out there and reminding people to like just stay grounded in gratitude, and that everything else just is better when you start there. You
You
can
know,
get through anything if you can stay grounded in gratitude.
and that's what people don't understand. In tragic and traumatic situations, there's always good things about it.
Yeah.
Like I had a house fire and we had left the house 15 minutes before the house fire. And I didn't know that till after we came back an hour later. But, we lost everything. But all I stood there and said, wow, I lost a pet in the fire. But I was like, oh my gosh, I could have lost my daughter. I mean, it's one of those things where, so what if I lost everything, but I didn't lose them? I mean, you got to find the good in everything and the blessings in it. And we may not know. Yeah, go for a million.
Thank
uh,
you. Thank you. I absolutely will. That makes it more audacious, doesn't it? Yeah, a million. Let's do a million. Let's do millions with an
that's
S.
that's right. Absolutely. So
Yeah.
what makes a person beautiful to you?
Oh, their spirit. Their spirit. Like, someone who's kind and and has gratitude for like the little things in their life. Someone who's honest. I love honesty. Like, there's nothing like somebody who is honest. And even if sometimes they don't have the most, they're not the most gracious with their honesty. You know what I mean? Those people, because I've been those people. I've been that person that I'm not necessarily very gracious with my honesty, but I mean well. So I love people that are honest and will tell you what's what. Like, give me a friend that tells me I have broccoli in my teeth any day of the week. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want that person. I want the person that's like, girl, your breath is hot right now. I want you as my friend. Okay. I can't deal with people that are like, oh, girl, her breath is foul. Like, no, tell me. You know what I mean? I'm that person. Like, I want you to be completely blunt, honest with me.
I,
Okay.
I'm laughing over here because this question always is a telltale. And this is what I'm able to tell people. This is exactly what I think about you. So this is why I'm laughing here. I'm like, keep telling it, girl. Keep telling it, girl. Keep
But
telling
it's
it.
true. Yeah, absolutely. That's like,
Hey,
it's funny because I made up this thing for my kids
okay.
because I never wanted them to get caught like with bad breath. That's like a huge pet peeve for me. Like, having like, I don't want to be that person that's like breathing whatever. So in order to give people permission to tell me that I have bad breath, like, I will do this when I meet people in person, like literally. And I'm like, ooh, you know what? I know, like, it's shift change right now. Like, if my breath is ever like just like woo, whatever, you can just be like, Jackie Chan, girl. Have you seen that Jackie Chan movie? Oh my gosh. I made that up because I told my kids, I was like, one day I told my youngest, I was like, ooh, your breath is kicking like Jackie Chan. Go brush your teeth. So that was like our code word. So I would be like, woo, Jackie Chan. And they'd be like, okay. And then they'd like wander off and go brush their teeth.
What's funny is because my secret for next week. So my
Right.
secret last week,
Mm-hmm.
I think she's going to be my best friend because she was talking to me and said, "Girl, let me set you." Because I said I have my guest coming on, and she's like, "Oh, girl, let's get your breath clean before she gets here." So she's going to be my best friend.
I love it.
Oh my gosh, Heather, thanks for being here. Thank you. We appreciate
Bye,
you.
Heather. It was great to have you.
So yeah, it's like I said, so it's so funny. I'll be like, okay, girlfriend, now we're friends. So,
Right? Just tell me the truth. Just tell me the truth.
oh man, that's going to be a surprise. You're going to have to watch that one later.
Yeah.
So, which of your personality traits has been the most useful?
Oh, well, I would say my
Tenacity?
resilience. My resilience.
Yeah,
Yeah, because I mean everything comes after that, right? I mean, you just kind of the ability to bounce back
absolutely.
is a pretty good personality trait. And
Absolutely.
you know, just I'm very optimistic.
Yes, you
So
are. And that's
yeah.
why I love you. What's the most impressive thing you know how to do?
The most impressive thing I know how to do. Uh, I don't know.
All right.
Yeah,
It's all right.
I guess what's impressive to who, right? Yeah, it's all relative with what's impressive.
I know, right?
Yeah, I'm a respiratory therapist, so I can save lives. So
There
that's
you
pretty
go.
impressive.
It
Yeah.
is. What has taken you the longest to get good or decent at?
Uh, hmm. Honestly, being a good networker.
There you go. That's a
Yeah,
good one.
being a good networker.
What personality trait has gotten you in the most trouble?
My honesty.
Chucky
My honest.
Chan. Chucky
My
Chan.
Jackie Chan. Yeah, my honesty. It's gotten me in a lot of trouble.
What's the most?
I talk first sometimes and think later.
I get that. What's the most
Yeah.
spontaneous thing you've ever done?
Most spontaneous thing I've ever. I'm gonna say probably getting on stage as a comedian, as a stand-up. Like that was pretty spontaneous. I was just like, okay.
I did that about 11, 12 years ago here in Montana. They had amateur stand up, and I was like, that's on
Right.
my freaking bucket list. Now I don't drink. Like, I take a sip and that's it.
Right.
And I'm good.
Right.
I had like 4 kamikazes shots and 2 screwdrivers. And I was interviewing somebody here from Billings, and I was like, "Oh, is that this?" And he did comedy that day too. And I was like, "Is that the first time you did it?" I said, "I'm so glad people didn't really have cell phones." He goes, "Well, you know what, Lynn? When you have Wayne on the show, I'm sure he has you up there." So there's video out there that I'm gonna be shocked when I realize what an imbecile I was up there when I did that. So it's gonna come out and haunt me, man. I think
Oh,
somebody's holding that till I become a little bit more famous, and it's gonna
that's
come out.
funny.
And you know what? I'm gonna be the first one to stand there and laugh my ass off because I'm gonna be like, I was drunk. I was totally drunk. You can't hold that
We
against me.
always think we're funnier than we are when we're
And
intoxicated
I
too.
probably was not funny. But if they had the video where there was this other actor and he was singing and he had wanted somebody to come up on stage, and I was like, I waved and I sit there, he's singing this song to me, and I'm just like, I'm out dance. I hope that part of the video doesn't come out because that was bad. That was bad.
Oh, that's funny.
It is funny, but it's just the way it is. Okay, so what's a perfect day look like to you?
Oh, I don't. I'm living it. Um, you know, perfect, right? Really. But
I know I should change it.
hanging out with my husband, maybe visiting friends at the beach. You know,
I love the
yeah,
water.
pretty much, at least one day a week is pretty perfect.
So do you have a couch I can sleep on when I get there?
Uh, eh,
Okay.
we got air
I'll take
mattresses.
I'll take the couch. I'll
You
take the
might be
floor.
stuck on the lanai. Hopefully it won't rain.
I don't care, man. I'm looking forward to going there someday. Oh, man. Okay, so what do you wish someone taught you a long time ago?
Wow. What I wish somebody taught me a long time ago. I have to say I'm pretty fortunate that I felt like I was taught this a long time ago. Um, to love myself, to love myself. And luckily I was. I was taught that a long time ago. I don't really have much of anything that I wish somebody had taught me a long time ago,
That's
because
good.
that was like the most important thing that someone taught me,
That's
is
awesome.
that no one can love you like you can love you.
Yeah, but sometimes I guess when you've been tarnished with people who surround you and you don't, your influence when you're younger changes that for you. And you wish you would have learned that a long time ago, at least in my life. I'm talking about my life.
Absolutely,
So I
absolutely.
wish I would have loved myself when I weighed 130 pounds and I thought I was fat. And I'm just going to leave that right there,
I'm
girlfriend.
gonna leave that there. Let you think about that.
So what's the funniest joke you know by heart? And being a comedian, you gotta know some jokes. Come on.
Oh, yeah, but that's just it. Being a comedian doesn't mean you know jokes. You know what I'm saying? Does that make sense? Because stand up is so different. Like I don't never really I didn't tell jokes, but I guess I did. But what's funny is that the jokes that I told then, or the routine that I did then, I don't find funny anymore. That's crazy, right? Like I
Yeah.
watch myself now and I'm in such a different place in my life that I cringe. I actually cringe when I look at my comedy from before, because I'm like, wow, that's not
Now
funny.
you gotta love yourself. And so you
I
gotta love
know, but it's not funny to me anymore. Hey, at the time it was hilarious, but now it's just like, yeah, no.
it.
Oh, okay. I have one that I heard. This is kind of can I remember it?
Well,
Gosh, no, I'm sorry. That is so lame. The
so check,
comedian that doesn't know a joke.
you gotta read this. This guy just came out. I don't even know.
I made that video where I took asked maps C of my ass and farts, and I feel very uncomfortable to have that out there on the internet. I walk with my head down, and it's very embarrassing.
Polly, thanks for watching from YouTube. I love it. I love that. But you know
Oh
what?
my
What I
gosh.
really gotta say though? Come on. You can do better than that. Answer the question. You just had to
Um,
get that out.
Honestly, I'm trying to think of a joke that I know by heart. I don't. I
That
don't
is
know
pretty
any
sad.
jokes by heart.
You got a comedian up here. You think she has an
No,
even
I'm
more
telling
chin knocked
you, I
out joke.
know. No,
That's
I
just
haven't
sad.
done comedy for a very long time. I haven't. Let's
Oh,
see.
that's funny.
Okay. I'll tell this one, but I'm not proud of it.
Well, you're not
So
proud
I
of
have
it
this.
because you
So
stand
I
up for
had this
yourself.
friend. I have this friend. She's a lesbian. She recently broke up with her girlfriend. So I recommend maybe she goes to like one of those, online dating sites. So I took her to the carpet exchange. Okay, so that's like one of my lame
Okay,
jokes.
Lynn, you asked for it. You got it. And it wasn't a
There
threat
you go.
either.
Okay.
Oh man. Okay, so what's the best thing you've got going on in your life at the moment?
Um, I'm just building my building my businesses with my husband at home. That's pretty much the best thing I got going on in my life at the moment. I am recovering from the loss of my child, so I'm getting back out there. I'm putting myself back out there. That's was pretty challenging because when you do what it is that I do, which is networking, um, the last couple months were really hard, just because I don't know, I had some time where I felt like I was worried about judgment, like people judging me in my grief, and that like you just lost your child, like why are you like asking me, do I want blah 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 or whatever, like I felt like a little bit of guilt about going back to work and doing what it is that I do. um so yeah, so things have been really kind of slow for me in my business over the last, all of November, all of December, pretty much. And so I'm
You
just
know,
kind of getting back to it here in
what
January.
Glenn Morshower said something very profound. We had a girl that was actually teaching us something about a program, and she did a great job. And after the program, she mentioned that she lost her 5-year-old nephew. And Glenn came out and said, you know, the worst thing you can say to somebody that's grieving is, you know, I can relate. And he said that because you can't relate what it would be to lose that specific nephew at 5 years old.
Mhm.
Uh, you know, and I realized, wow, you know, and then the next thing he said is the second worst thing that you can ask somebody that's grieving is there something I can do for you? And this is the part I love that Glenn said. And Glenn's an actor. He's in The Resident. I don't know if you've ever seen that show, but he's a great guy. And he comes out and goes, well, when somebody asks what they can do for you, you tell them, well, I've got a garage that needs to be cleaned out if you want to go ahead and clean it. He goes, I'm sure they'll never ask what they can do for you again.
I like
So,
that though. Be like, you know, I've got a toilet that needs scrubbing.
yeah, you know, he said, and I'm paraphrasing, but the bottom line is, like he said, think of something audacious to ask them to do, because one, you don't expect them to do it, and two, they may shut their mouth next time and say, well, gee, I can't do that, you
Right.
know. But you know, everybody has their own thing. But for me, saying,
Yes, you know, that never bothered me. Is there anything
yeah,
I can do? Because
right,
you know, there are people are at such a loss, like they really do want to
right,
help you.
right, right,
And so for me, like you know, I just kindly say no.
yeah,
Or and maybe I will be like, I have a garage that needs organizing, you know, maybe I
yeah,
will. Maybe I'll ask that question. Again, be careful what you ask for, you know, you just might get it.
that's right,
So, you know,
that's right.
that's
So
not the worst thing that could happen.
that's right. So what's the first thing you notice about a person? We're gonna wrap this up here probably.
Their smile.
Aw.
Their smile. Yeah, absolutely. Which you have an amazing one. But yeah, I mean, definitely their smile. And it's really hard for me when people don't smile, right? Like that's what draws people in. And you know, that you know, are you happy kind of thing? Well, someone should tell your face. You know what I mean?
I love it. I just never thought my teeth were perfect or this or that. And
That's
um,
just, you know
you
what?
know, so
Screw it. Who
yeah,
cares? Like
yeah,
a smile is just that it's the
yeah,
best thing that you can give
yeah.
to someone. And you never run out of that. You know what I mean? You have
And
an infinite amount of smiles to give the world.
and that's the thing. It's like when I see you or Julie Anderson, I think you know her from Rank Makers, Julie Anderson, her smile just gets me, and her dancing. But, you know, it's one of those things that when I see your smile, I'm like, I finally get it. I mean, like your smile, I just love your smile. Like your smile can make me happy. I mean, like, I just love going to your page and seeing you. So yeah, I'm one of your stalkers, but at least I'm one of your
I
friends
love
too.
it. I love it. The more stalkers, the merrier.
At least
Just
I'm
don't
gonna
let me
give you.
catch you in the bushes outside.
I was gonna say, what are you talking about, Willis? You know, Jen, this has been so cathartic for me and so therapeutic, and the ability to spend time at 7 o'clock Hawaii time with you. I thank you for making this happen. I wanted to do justice bringing you on here and let you know how much you mean to me and how much I love you and your husband. And you guys are just beautiful people to
Well,
me.
we love you, Lynn. We love
Aw,
you too.
aw.
And yeah, we're so happy that you know, the universe brought us together.
Absolutely. We're family for sure. I've got one more thing and then we're going to head out here soon. So, what book recommendations do you think have impacted your life?
Oh,
And
wow.
do you have any around? You want to go grab a couple books that you're working on?
Well, I've read all of these ones, but I'm
Yeah,
big
yeah,
on yeah, I'm really big on Audible.
yeah.
So
Okay,
hold on though,
okay,
but I got
cool.
a couple here.
Sweet. See, this is live. This is really cool. I want to go Hawaii someday. I'm excited about my next show too with Brian, Real and Raw. And if you guys weren't here with us earlier, you might want to share this out. Some great information about grieving and your child. Period. And a mom's perspective on that. So, what books did you have, my dear?
Okay, so these are the ones that I have like physical copies of,
Okay.
But I have a lot of stuff that was on my Audible or I've listened to. But this is one of my favorites, Fearless Networking by Todd Falcone.
Oh, okay.
This is another one of my favorites. I know that you've probably read this one from our guy Ray, who you were fortunate enough to interview.
Yeah.
And then there's this one.
10X.
By our guy Grant Cardone is one of my books that I've read recently. But I have to say, probably the most impactful books that I have read. Number one is Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. And then another one by Napoleon Hill, which is a lot of people, I don't know how many people have read this one, but Outwitting the Devil by Napoleon Hill.
No, haven't read that.
I gotcha.
Yes.
So I highly recommend listening to Outwitting the Devil. And the reason you listen to it is because the book is written like an interview.
Oh, okay.
So it's a back and forth. And listening to it is really, really powerful. So Outwitting the Devil by Napoleon Hill is one of my favorite books and has impacted me greatly.
Awesome.
So
yay! Well,
yay.
I love that. Well, I hope that we can collaborate more, do some collabs.
Yeah.
And have some more shows. And I just hope that people get to know my Jen the way I know and love her. And I look forward to doing more special things with you. I guarantee that's possible.
Thank you. Absolutely. Absolutely. Girl, I got to get on, I need to expand my audience, because if I'm going to be impacting millions of people, I got to get out there.
Absolutely.
And so,
I'm here to help
so
you.
I'm going to plug. Can I plug my my Facebook Lives?
Absolutely.
So I would love for you to join me at Jennifer Boyd, which is just my personal page. But on Mondays at 7 a.m. Hawaii Standard Time, which the math is right now, that would be noon Eastern. Once it's spring forward, we're 6 hours difference. So that would be 1 o'clock Eastern.
Yep.
But right now it's 5 hours difference. So 7 a.m. Okay,
awesome.
Sorry, at 7 a.m. Hawaii Standard Time, Mondays and Saturdays.
Absolutely. And I encourage you, when you go through the comments, Jen, just go ahead and put that information there. I'd be happy to do it. Tag me on your page or whatever.
Cool.
I'm here to help you any way I can. I love you. God bless you. Now I'm kicking you off the stage here in a minute because I got to change scenery. Can you imagine that?
Okay, that's awesome. Well, thank you so much, Lynn, for having me.
Don't leave me. Don't leave me.
Okay.
I want to close out with this sweet little video.